Well, as the country slipped into recession last year, it joined Michigan's economy, which had been there already for most of the decade. Michigan leads the nation in unemployment and in crime. Well, now the Great Lakes state is trying to pull itself out of its 12-year slump by trying to go green. Clean Skies' Lee Patrick Sullivan is here now with more. Hi, Lee.
Well, Susan, I have a quick Michigan quiz for you. You ready for this? You can phone a friend.
Where's the phone?
Why do they call Detroit Motown?
Oh, well, that's because it's the center of the auto industry.
Okay, if that's true, that is correct. Now, if that's true, then why is the nation's most prestigious auto race held in Indianapolis with the Indianapolis 500 and it's not held in Detroit?
This I don't know, but I bet you're going to tell me.
I definitely going to tell you. Well, Susan, it was the turn of the last century, and both Indianapolis and Detroit had thriving carriage and automobile industries. Now, all these early cars were handmade for the upper class. Then Detroiter Henry Ford had an idea: produce the cars on an assembly line, making them more affordable to the masses. Other Detroit automakers followed suit. Now, the Indianapolis auto industry thought it was going to lose money and continued to make the cars by hand, and eventually they went bankrupt. And Detroit, on the other hand, in 4 short decades, went from a sleepy Midwest town to the 4th largest city in America, with 3 of the largest companies in the world headquartered there. Now, at the beginning of this new century, Detroit and Michigan are once again at a crossroads, trying to figure out the next world-leading industry. And according to Michigan lawmakers, that industry is a green industry. Who knows, maybe 100 years from now, people will be wondering why Detroit is called Greentown. For the past 4 years, Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm has been pushing for wind turbines, solar panels, and lithium-ion batteries to be built in her state and not overseas.
Do we want to give that up? Do we really want to be a nation that manufactures nothing? I mean, if this is the backbone of our nation's might, I mean, think about the defense implications. In World War II, Michigan became the arsenal of democracy because we were able to convert factories to be able to manufacture the instruments of defense. Do we really want to manufacture nothing and rely on all of the other nations? I just don't think it's a wise national defense move.
Granholm and Michigan lawmakers have been trying to remake Michigan's economy, which for the last 75 years has been almost entirely dependent on the auto industry. Granholm wants Michigan to lead a green revolution with the same types of workers that turned the state into an auto powerhouse.
People view the University of Michigan and other partner universities here in the area in Michigan, Southeast Michigan in particular, as the center, of the world, if you like, in terms of being able to design devices, engineer them, and manufacture them. We've done it very successfully for many years, and we applied it to the automobile. We've been the automotive capital of the world, and I think we can lead the way in many other technologies that involve similar sets of skills.
And a lot of that skilled workforce is looking for work. Michigan has more unemployed engineers than any other state. And the parts suppliers that fed the big 3 are looking to diversify.
Eventually, that this is the place where they're going to find out they need to be if they haven't already discovered it, because this is where the supplier networks are. I mean, this is where you can find a workforce that understands manufacturing, that has the skill sets that you need. This is where you can find the research and technology backup at our universities, which are really world class.
So 4 years ago, Governor Granholm and the Michigan legislature started putting together incentives to bring green industries to Michigan. And this year, that groundwork is starting to pay dividends. LG Chem started a Michigan company called Compact Power to make lithium-ion batteries in Michigan. General Motors opened the most advanced battery research lab in the Western Hemisphere in Warren, Michigan. GM also announced its battery pack factory will be located in the Great Lakes state. But it's not just the auto industry. General Electric has committed to building an alternative energy research center, and this closed Ford factory in Wixom, Michigan will become the country's largest renewable energy park. Extreme Power of Texas and Clairvoyant Energy of California will invest $725 million to make it happen. Will we look back at this in history as this is the time when Michigan diversified its economy and became a center for green technology?
Well, I think you will see that. In fact, there's a number of things happening in alternative energy in the state as well, both in terms of manufacturing components, but also developing the technology that's important to make that industry go. Some things are happening with water management too, so I think you're right.
We started a new revolution, and when I say we, I mean everybody working together, started a new advanced manufacturing and clean energy revolution.
Next up for Michigan is becoming the world's leading producer of solar panels and wind turbines by the year 2020.
The rest of our alternative energy strategy in the state includes solar and wind and a variety of other areas, because we think we have a manufacturing base here that can produce all of that. And there's a supply train necessary for wind turbine manufacturing that's very much like what you need for an automobile. And we have the companies here that have those skill sets.
And DTE, the largest power company in the state, is currently working on smart grid technology, enabling electric cars to both store energy and talk to the grid.
Is it important for us to play now? Yes, because we believe that relationships will be established now, technologies will be solidified, standards will be set early on in this process, and unless we participate now, we'll be out of the game.
And Susan, it's time now to see if this strategy will pay off in the long run. Michigan has given out nearly $1 billion in grants to get green companies to relocate there. And Governor Granholm says by the end of the year, all that free corporate money will be gone.
So we can see the lure of Michigan. What about other states that have unemployed auto workers? They're ready to make a shift to wind and solar. What about them?
I think it was basically, from what I understand from speaking with Governor Granholm's people and Lieutenant Governor Cherry, that it was the combination of the perfect storm. They had unemployed skilled workers they had the largest amount of unemployed engineers. You have the University of Michigan, University of Detroit, and Michigan State University that have green technology courses that you can take there to learn how to build wind turbines and solar panels and lithium-ion batteries. And you also have this, Michigan has a history of not tearing anything down. You see, in 1999 when they closed Tiger Stadium, they had talked to one of the players and said, "Is it going to be sad when they tear this place down?" He said, "Are you kidding?" He said, "Are you kidding? This is Detroit. They don't tear anything down. They just board it up." And a lot of that happened to a lot of the factories in Michigan. And you saw that Wixom plant in Michigan that was closed 3 years ago. It still has not been torn down or boarded up. And they have literally thousands of plants like that up there with all this manufacturing space that has basically just put up barbed wire and boarded it up, where other cities have tried to gentrify their areas and tear these things down and put up new things. Michigan has all of this spare manufacturing capacity, and they're ready for the revolution.
Okay, so another big plus for Michigan, all that spare space. All right, Lee Patrick Sullivan, thank you.